So why are we hungry? And why do we overeat? And are they related to at all the epidemic of obesity? These are interesting questions, by the way, which have been on the minds of many investigators, researchers, and clinicians for decades. I wish I could give you a specific, unequivocal answer to all those questions. I can't, but I can give you a little bit of insight as to how we're learning something about this concept of the satiation signal, meaning how we stop eating because we feel like we're full. As you know, the lateral nucleus of the hypothalamus, that gland that sits in the center of our brain, has a very important role to play in the regulating of appetite. And there are many signals, that some of which come from the gut. These are hormonal signals. They're called the endocrine hormones that are secreted by our gut mucosal cells that go to the brain. And then there are brain signals that go to the gut that all work together as a system to regulate appetite and the feel of hunger. Well, it turns out that there is now new evidence of another part of this satiation signal, and it is called a glycosylation enzyme that is found in specific brain neurons that's a nutrient sensor that controls body weight. This is another chapter in this evolving story, so I don't want to say this is the answer all, but it's certainly part of the story. Now, the thing that I want to bring to your attention in this particular component of discovery is that this glycosylation enzyme is in fact sensitive in fact to blood sugar levels, because glycosylation is a process that occurs as a consequence of the non-enzymatic connection of sugar in the blood to various proteins that then regulate and alter function. So there is a connection then between postprandial sugar levels, meaning blood sugar, when it goes up, like when you eat a lot of sugar, and how that influences this glycosylation pathway that's associated with satiety or satiation. So you probably had people say, you know, if I eat a candy bar to get energy, then I feel more hungry later. Is there really some physiological mechanism for that, or is it just psychological? Well, there appears there could be a mechanism by which that occurs, by altering then the satiation signal through elevated blood sugar postprandial after consuming a candy bar. Then you start to drive different kinds of cell signaling mechanisms that then creates this synthetic sense that, gee, you're hungry, you should be eating more. So I think that regulating the release of sugar into the blood, which is more your complex carbohydrates, your unrefined starches, whole grains, and vegetables and fruits that are still fibrous, is a very desirable thing, because this time release uptake into the blood of sugar then greatly lowers the ability of that sugar to exceed certain values, which then causes protein glycosylation and can alter the whole signaling mechanism of appetite and appetite regulation. So this is just another part of the psychobiology of eating and how it interrelates with satiety, and ultimately the low glycemic load diet and unrefined, minimally processed foods, and trying to, in fact, regulate sugar postprandially in your blood so that it will signal appropriately to those eating and satiety centers that manage your hunger.